The quiet streets of Phoenix, Arizona were about to be rocked by a chilling series of events that would leave an entire community shaken. What started as a series of terrifying armed robberies targeting dancers at a local strip club soon spiraled into a murder mystery so twisted it's hard to believe it's real. The life of a young dancer was cut short, and the person responsible for her death was likely someone who'd been lurking right under her nose. But who could have orchestrated such a brutal crime? Stick around to find out, and don't forget to hit subscribe for more true crime stories.
It was supposed to be just another day for Mercedes Vega, a dancer at La Girls in Phoenix, Arizona. But as the hours ticked away, her life was tragically cut short. Mercedes, who had dreams of becoming a certified personal trainer, was just a few hours away from testifying in court against a man she had identified as her attacker. A masked assailant who had robbed her at gunpoint months earlier was now a suspect in her murder. And that very day, just hours before she was to speak out, Mercedes was found dead. On the night of April 16, 2023, Mercedes texted her friend Helena Gamboa, saying she was unsure whether to head out or just stay home. Her instincts seemed to scream at her that something wasn't right. But as the evening unfolded, she was seen walking into her apartment garage. That was the last time anyone would see her alive. Not long after, Mercedes was taken from her car, forced into the back seat of a Chevrolet Malibu, and driven miles from her apartment. Her body was found burned, beaten, and shot in that same car, a chilling image that haunts everyone who knew her. The worst part? Authorities soon discovered bleach had been poured down her throat. Was this a sign of the killer's desire to erase all evidence, or a cruel attempt to humiliate her in her final moments?
But this wasn't the first time Mercedes had been targeted. Her story was just one piece of a larger puzzle. In the months leading up to her murder, other dancers at the same club reported similar attacks, armed robberies, masked men, and terrifying moments that left them shaken to the core. One former dancer even told police she believed she was being followed after leaving the club. The man knew her routine, and she feared for her life. Yet, when she asked authorities to check the club's security footage, the investigation stalled. It was clear these attacks weren't random. Someone was targeting these women. Authorities have linked Mercedes' murder to 3 men, including Kujo Young, a man Mercedes had identified as her attacker in the robbery. Young had already been arrested and charged with armed robbery, but he was released on bond. Despite his denial, authorities believe he was involved in her killing, and the case against him is growing stronger. He's now suspected of conspiracy to commit murder and kidnapping. Then there's Jared Gray, who was arrested in Georgia and linked to the case after forensic evidence was found in the car Mercedes was taken in. Gray, who traveled from Tennessee, denied ever being in Arizona, but fingerprints tell a different story. Authorities are now working to bring him to Arizona for trial. And let's not forget Sincere Hayes, another suspect charged in the killing, whose connection to the other men is still being pieced together.
What makes this case even more chilling is the fact that these men seem to be connected not just by crime, but by their hometown, Chattanooga, Tennessee. Investigators discovered that they had traveled to Arizona just months before the murder, their paths crossing in the most horrifying way possible. Authorities later learned that Kujo Young even paid for their tickets to Arizona. And after the murder, Hayes and Gray vanished. The question still looms. Why did they choose to target Mercedes? What was their connection to her? For Mercedes' family, it's been a long and painful wait for justice. We've felt like we've been drowning in a sea of despair, her mother said, and now we've been thrown a life preserver. While the process has been slow, the charges against these men bring a glimmer of hope, but the truth remains. Justice for Mercedes is still in the balance. The family is left wondering why it took so long for the pieces of this puzzle to fall into place. It's been 2 years since Mercedes' murder, and they're still fighting for the truth to come out.
Mercedes Vega's story is a tragic reminder of the dark reality some face, but it also serves as a symbol of resilience. A young woman caught in the crosshairs of something far larger than her is now a symbol of justice and the fight against violence. As the investigation continues, the question remains, who else might be involved in this network of terror? And will the justice system finally hold those responsible accountable? We've watched this case unfold with its chilling twists and gut-wrenching revelations, and we'll continue to follow it as more pieces of this tragic story come to light. The fight for justice for Mercedes Vega is far from over. Remember, hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you don't miss out on more true crime stories. Who do you think is behind this crime? Let us know in the comments below. Until next time, stay safe and always trust your instincts.